So this is going to be one of those videos that might trigger the shift in you or scare the shift out of you or um, yeah, if it doesn't resonate, I mean it just doesn't resonate, but it's about and I will talk into um, this in between stage from, okay, you've awakened, huh? So you became aware of so many things, but yeah, becoming aware of it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is just like very easy. Suddenly, yeah, life is great. I really enjoy life. No, actually, it quite often is quite the opposite. You feel horrible. You suddenly notice things you didn't notice before, because before you were just annoyed by it and you wouldn't just bother thinking about it twice. You would just act on it straight away, or you would decide to stay annoyed all this time because you feel like, yeah, I cannot do anything about it. This is happening to me. You don't have the clear sense of it's happening through you. Your mind might try to figure it out somehow, like, why is this happening through me? But mostly is probably, why is this happening to me? I mean, I've been doing this and I've been doing that. I've done all the work. I've done shadow work. I've, soul retrieval, revival, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Uh, yeah, fishing quest. Something I came up yesterday when I realized my whole 2 year homeless period, it basically was my vision quest. What they do in shamanism so often, they send you out into nature with just basic stuff, uh, usually just water, and yeah, the idea is that you need to survive for about 3 days. And of course, at some point, you will get dehydrated. You will become hungry. You will become restless, fearful, and yeah, this is why this is the ritual. Like, this is why they do it. This is why this is like a sort of initiation into becoming a shaman. But right now, um, we are transitioning from, uh, yeah, being the Sleeping Beauty. Basically, you just surviving, and you didn't call it surviving. You call it life. Yeah, this is life. Life is hard. Life is, struggle. Life is um, suffering. Into slowly towards, ah, if I completely surrender into everything, then I will become enlightened at some point. Yeah, but we have a long way to go. By my estimate, a couple of thousand years. So, um, I've I've gone through this process myself. That's why I now feel um, uh, free enough to talk into it without having it come off as a teaching. No, I'm basically, what I want to do is share my experience, and yeah, I mean, take what resonates, and if, like I said, it triggers the shifting you, then that's a good thing because it means you do recognize it somehow. And yeah, uh, so bear with me, please. Even if I somehow or at some moments come off as teaching or preaching, it's just the best I can do to express this. But what I see clearly happen again and again and again and again and again, and I clearly saw this happen with me as well. So let me first give you my examples. 2016, I went to this Bentinho Massaro retreat in Barlo, the Netherlands. I think it was, I don't know the title, something with self-realization and self-actualization. And yeah, the moment I arrived there, with being there with 500 other aliens, as I call them, or light workers, or whatever you want to label them, however you want to label them, it felt like a homecoming. Being immersed 6 days in his teachings, in his way of expressing, and all of us, like, really, it felt so good to be surrounded by beings that you didn't have to explain yourself again and again. You didn't have to tell the full story. Whoa. Sorry. There was a squirrel that jumped from a coconut palm tree into a evergreen, some sort of evergreen, and I think it was about 1, 2, 3, let's say 6 meters down, pretty much. Yeah, 6 meters. Yeah, soft landing. Nothing wrong. No, just, I'm just a squirrel. Whee! It's the equivalent of you jumping off a 4-story building and just, casually move along your business. Whoa. All right. So, in this period, the 6-day immersion, and then every week going through to meetings in Amsterdam, being with them, being among very like-minded or less-minded people, aware, awakened, whatever you want to label it. I don't, in general, all these words I use, they're just pointers. So try to hear beyond the words. Please. But after every meeting, I had to go back. And the contrast started to feel heavy on me. So heavy that I was like, I don't know if I want to go back again and again and again. Even after the retreat, I was crying going home again. And yeah, back then I had a girlfriend, 2 years older than me. She had like almost mature son and a teenager daughter. And I remember arriving there and meeting her and her daughter, and like a little baby crawling into their arms and crying. And they didn't get it. But yeah, they were just happy that I was back because, we had this strong connection. But it started to weigh on me heavily, really heavily, because the contrast became so evident. And I think this is when you when you are when you think or consider yourself awakened, or maybe if you yeah, maybe a little ahead of yourself and you call yourself aware or becoming aware, then contrast shows you very simply uh, where you are still holding on to old beliefs, old thought forms, old convictions, old habits, old patterns, old ways of doing things, old ways of looking at things. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. Uh, it's just who you were, who you have always been before, which is fine because that's why you are here. That's why you chose these parents. That's why you chose this incarnation, this soul, this blueprint. So you could go through the whole human thing, which is what the collective is going through right now, at the state or the stage where the collective is right now. And yeah, I like to see, to make it easier, to to split the collective in two halves. Um, those are who are still, following, sometimes even admiring, or hanging on to the negative path, fear narratives, stories that they don't really feel good, but they sound true. They feel true. They feel like, yeah, but there's truth in it. So of course I'm gonna hold on to it because otherwise, yeah, who am I without this truth? And then there's the positive path, and it's not like the one is bad and the other one is good. No, the positive path is, to me, is more like what the law of one describes as service to self, where you no longer operate from a system based on survival, fear, low energies, and sticking with these low energies because this is what you're used to, or the service to others path. And this is what they call service to self, because you're basically just feeding the ego again and again and again and again, or the path of service to others, where you surrender into your role you are playing for the collective. You are part of this collective, so of course whatever you do for the collective is also for you because you are the collective. And it doesn't mean positive so it's easy. No, actually, like I said before, it feels quite heavy. Why? Because parts of you are still in this old narrative. So, for example, I've heard it a couple of times now, and I've even experienced it, uh, well, secondhand with my partner, who really had trouble uh, with sound, surrounding in the area. Like now, right now, they're working next door, and tong tong tong. And let me already add one thing: if you are overwhelmed, because most likely most of you are like high sensitive, or empaths, or more attuned to things, your senses are sharper than most other humans who are dulled dimmed, living in their bubble, closed. When you're when your nervous system is already in this overwhelmed state, then of course these things are gonna be too much for you. So first of all, like I experienced going back, going to the meeting on Amsterdam and then having to go back, and then 6 days looking forward to the Monday where we had another meeting. The 6 days felt heavy on me, but because I had something to look forward to, it felt like, um, yeah, I knew what I was. It was going to be okay again. This too shall pass. But when you're in the overwhelmed state, yeah, then 6 days can feel like hell. And the one day, the one meeting would not feel enough. And yeah, for me and a large portion of the group that was coming together every Monday, it felt the same. Like, listen, we don't want to do this once a week. No, we want to do this every day. So yeah, we manifested a abandoned monastery where we could stay for at least 18 months. There's more to this story, but I explained it in another video and it's not really relevant. It's just I was back then in the mode of, okay, every Monday I can recharge. Every Monday, I know, every Monday I can recharge. I can visit my family and the 6 days towards the Monday, I started practicing, I started working, I started not only looking forward to the Monday, but extending the Monday on my own. So I stopped doing things that felt heavy. I stopped doing things that felt wrong. I stopped doing things, old pattern. I started breaking old patterns because I started realizing, listen, if I continue, what would be a good example? Yeah, so for example, back then I was totally in my computer, gaming until like 3 a.m. And because most of the gamers and the game I was playing is a very unknown game, and most of the fan base was in the US. So yeah, I often, we started like tournaments, and these sometimes started like 10 p.m. And yeah, after the tournament, there's full adrenaline excitement. You want to move on and you want to continue playing, so sometimes till 6 a.m. I could back then I could clearly feel like, no, this is not these two worlds are not compatible. So less gaming, less this, more meditation, working on things. When before going on a Monday there, I found someone who was happy to receive me and some others on a Sunday already. So I went to Amsterdam on a Sunday and So one day already became 2 days. So this is the thing. I think when you become aware of what is no longer serving you, you need to let go of these things. For example, narratives that don't really serve you, narratives that keep you trapped in the negative. And I don't, I'm not saying just ignore them, just pretend that they are not there, because then they're gonna fester, they're gonna behind the scenes, behind the curtain, it's gonna gnawing on you. No, you have to acknowledge that they're there and just realize, listen, these are my old patterns. I know they're no longer serving me. So, what can I do instead? And yeah, this works for me. I'm not saying it's gonna work for you. But yeah, give it a shot. And then another part, which is also a toughie. So often, these narratives, they feel like the truth. Like, yeah, what's happening right now in the world? Take my mom, for example. She, at some point, I was sharing with her, yeah, soon I'm gonna fly to another country again because of the visa. And she said, yes, please be careful with all this war stuff going on. And I immediately stopped her. I said, listen, are you watching the news again or still? Yeah, of course, because I want to know what's going on in the world. And I told her, no, listen, this is not what is going on in the world. This is what they want you to see what's going on in the world. Because there's so many other things going on in the world that are not on this fear narrative, low energy propaganda, like, yeah, everything is going to shit. I just call this the negative part. I call it old earth. It's crumbling, it's dying, it's falling apart, and it's doing its utmost best to survive. So of course it's gonna use all the techniques and tactics they have to keep you in the loop. So yeah, when you watch the news because you feel like it's conducive to you, it's yeah, so you know at least what's going on in the world. Sorry, I feel that at some point you have to admit to yourself, not because of me, no, you have to admit to yourself, okay, yeah, he might be right in watching this doesn't make me feel okay. It doesn't make me feel happy. It doesn't feel good actually. Okay, I want to be aware of what's happening in the world because I'm afraid. Okay, so what are you actually afraid of? And this is how you move what I call from the third dimensional vibration level into the fourth dimensional vibrational level, where you can see your dual ways of looking at things, the bad and the right and the wrong, and this and that, and then fear and the trust. We should really take better care of our energy system. If you are not aware of watching the news and your nervous system being on high alert because you watch this, I call bullshit, this negative crap, then you're not really taking care of yourself. You're just repeating, keeping yourself in the loop. You have free will. You can choose at any time. Okay, I'm not gonna watch like action movies, killing, war, yeah, bullshit drama. No, I can still watch a drama movie um, when I feel I can recognize myself in it and then see through patterns that are still there. But yeah, one might even say everything that comes out of Hollywood is programmed in such a way that it will knowingly or unknowingly keep you in the loop. So yeah, maybe it is helpful, to do retreats, to retreat from the world, to find a place where you can recharge, to maybe on a daily basis walk bare feet in nature, on the grass, take a day off, take a week off, take a month off, take a sabbatical. Anything that is within your possibilities to unleash, uh, to unload, to release all the heavy energies that you pick up in your daily life. And another thing that I think is really helpful, and it's been really helpful for me, is to learn about energy system, how my energy system actually works. So grounding, putting up a energy shield, all these things. And yeah, there's enough information, there's a lot of teachings available on YouTube or whatever, where you can learn these things, how to ground, how to protect yourself, how to shield yourself, because protecting for me is not always the proper term, because having to protect yourself actually means you expect an attack. But to shield yourself is more like I take care of myself. Taking care of myself means shielding myself, means maybe avoiding certain places or avoiding certain people until you're charged enough that you can handle these situations. Like Eckhart Tolle said, if you think you're enlightened, go visit your family. And I'm saying, if you're not ready yet, just avoid them. And of course, narratives like, yeah, but they need me, or then they think I'm a bitch or an asshole, or they don't like me anymore. Yeah, that's the narrative, and you have to look into where this is coming from, because maybe your self-worth is dependent on how other people think of you, and your self-worth is only dependent on how you think of you. So to summarize the best I can, take better care of yourself. See the patterns, see through the patterns. Sometimes it's helpful to see where the patterns are coming from and transform them, instead of ignoring them, or just find some sort of distraction. No, feel it. Yeah, that's what he said in the Bentinho community. See it, feel it, be it. So you see the pattern, you feel where it's coming from, and then just be all of it. Because yeah, emotion, energy, emotion, the energy wants to move through you. And one of the most important things for me that has been helpful for me is just first recognize the patterns and acknowledge them. Just see like, okay, so that's there. Don't judge them. Don't judge yourself. Don't maybe even not forgive yourself. Just be with it. Just see if you can be okay with it. Firstly, just allow it to be. And the more you can allow it to be, the more it will lose its grip on you. Yeah, I think that's about it. So if you want to dive a little deeper into these kind of things, I suggest you watch the uh, reality check, please, because so many they want to check out as soon as they see reality for what it is. Uh, the collection. I rearrange them in such a way that if you watch them consecutive in sequence, things will start opening up. That's not a promise. It's, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And now I will deal with the narrative that's going on right now, and share later maybe what happened here right now. But that's enough. Take good care of yourself. Really. Yeah. You know you are worth it, right? Cheers.